So the MP20 HMB. Now I've got the 7-iron here, I've also got the 4-iron pitch wedge to test, but let's just have a look at the club as a whole. There are some points that Mizuno would like us to look at, because they are quite proud about their new hollow making for the new MP20. So if I was to, let's see if we can get them up on the screen. There we go. So this is slightly different to the normal MP20 range, where all the other MP20 range, the blade and the MMC, is basically made up of a chassis or a whole carcass as such of 1025E classic soft forgings. This follows a similar line to the hot metal on the JPX line, where the JPX is a cast mold, this is actually a forged mold. So the face is a forged 4135 chromoly face. Then it's got a stainless backing to it, and I forget now what the type of welding that they use, which is different to every other manufacturer and how they do it. It's blooming expensive, but it's the most accurate way of welding two pieces together at great cost. Inside the face as well, before I go on to the next point, they've actually got the Cortec face that you have on their fairway woods and drivers, so basically variable face thickness, so you can less drop off of ball speed when you don't hit the middle. There you go. Dual tungsten weight, 2 to 7 iron, 2 12-gram weights of tungsten located heel and toe. Basically just increases MOI, resistance to twist, when you don't hit the middle. It's the effective years-old idea of perimeter weighting, but obviously they can do with tungsten now. I'll skip on to, I'll tell you what, if I can find it, I'll see if I can, yeah, here it is, so you can see what I mean. I'm in the way a little bit, but yeah, as you can see there, you've got the face, which is the forged chromoly, yeah, which way you want to say it. But then inside the backing, you've got the hollow construction, but you've got the 2 ports of the 2 12-gram weights. That's in between the 2 and the 7-iron. Haven't got it when it comes to the 8 to pitching wedge. But let's get that one out. Let's go back to where we were. There we go. We don't want to miss anything. What we got? Copper underlay. Yeah, so this has still got the copper to it. So when they're constructing this, they've still put it in the old galvanizing thing, or what they call it, electrolysis. There you go. That they can cover the whole thing in copper. Gives it a lovely little feel, apparently. Hollow head, remember. Still got to do testing. I haven't hit this yet. So multi-thickness Cortec face. I've just went and done that one already. A slightly wider cambered sole, time tested on tour. Okay, yeah, basically that there, I don't know if you can see it. Let's go this way. It's not got the, it's not just flat, it's chamfered turf interaction, and this has got the full satin finish, not the chrome. There's no chrome on this whatsoever. All parts of it are satin finish, so much so like the MP18 of last year. But yeah, so right, we're gonna go outside now, out on the outdoor teaching bay. Let's go hit it and see how it feels. Okay guys, now back from talking tech. Enough of that. Let's get into how it feels. Now obviously this has got a danger of feeling a little bit more explosive, a little bit more poppy because of how it's constructed. Whenever you have a hollow head, it's always a little bit dangerous because you do get a distinctly different feel. Anyone who's hit the G700 will know exactly how that one from Ping, because it sounds like a hybrid, and it's an iron. So yeah, let's go hit this one. I haven't hit the HMBs yet, so this is a raw experience. I may like it, I may not. Doesn't matter. Well, let's go hit it anyway. Right, quad on the floor, FSX mobile on my phone, capturing the screen so I can whack it on the old somewhere so you can see if you're that way inclined. Let's just give it a go. The lofts are a little bit stronger during the set, but all 46 in the pitching wedge for blending. Right, give it a go. That felt heely and low. You'll be able to see. That felt heely and low. It did surprisingly well. That was me. That was nothing to do with club. And considering how I hit that actually performed quite well. Is this the reasons why they have? There you go. There's a question, I suppose. I won't know until I actually hit this normally, like with my Game Ball Vice Pro, to see how premium balls work. I do tend, when I have a smaller club head, to focus my strike on a certain area a lot more. Where I have a bigger club head, it diverts a little bit. Be interesting to see. Anyway, let's try and get rid of that skanky strike. It did quite well considering it's a, well, it's not a blade, it was a hot metal blade. There you go. Now that was middle, but that was still low. That was a groove or two low. I mean, that's doing very well. For considering how I'm hitting it, that's doing very well. I'm enjoying hitting the low part of this club. I am. And again, that's doing very well. That's interesting. Now, it'd be interesting if I could hit that same strike with the blade, because of the help that I'm getting with a HMB over the blade, how much difference the blade would make. Because this is helping quite a lot, considering the skanky strikes. That's great. They're middle, they're just low. Now, generally speaking, when it comes to wedges, if you look at a lot of the tour players now, because they're getting a lot more strike data using quad, a lot of the PGA Tour players are now starting to gravitate their strike with their wedges lower, because they want that lower, nippier, zippy spin shot. Right, one more. Let's see if we can get it somewhere near the middle. Nope. Same one again. That's me. See, I don't hit perfect every single time. You'll probably have to see on every single one of those strikes how low that is. I was kind of hoping that was going to be in the middle. Now, considering how low they were, they've done exceptionally well. I'm going to put the information on the screen so you can see that, because they've basically gone very, very similar distance and actually not far off target, considering I'm not hitting these well at all. But again, this isn't a 1 take, 2 take, 3 take, 4 take, 5 take. It's a 1 take show, and there you go. I don't hit them all good all the time. But there you go. HMB. That's the benefit of having that. Right, let's dump this pitching wedge idea and go to a 7 iron. Hopefully I can hit that with a bit better. Yeah, I'm only going to hit 2 balls on this one, because if not, it'll be all day. But to be fair, okay, it's not the best way of trying to say how that feels or not, because I was skanking out the bottom. Let's go see and hit 7 iron. Let's see if I can hit it more in the middle, give a proper idea of how it feels. But considering I was hitting this that low, that club has done exceptionally well. Let's go get the 7. Okay, got the 7. Let's see if I can hit that one a bit better than the pitching wedge. Why was I hitting the pitching wedge at the bottom? I don't know. It's not a 2 take show. I wish I had another go at it though, but maybe in a different review. But anyway, I've got to hit other balls first anyway. So let's go see how a 7 look. Now, all I can tell of all the MP20 range, the heads, I mean, there's next to chuffle offset difference in everything. I mean, there are blades and MMCs there, and you could say the blades have probably got the absolute least, but I mean, they're all, I mean, this is a 7, and there's hardly anything on that. It's a very, very, very nice looking family. It's just that the MP20 HMB has obviously got that hollow tech, but it's just a bit bigger. I mean, top line's a bit bigger, the sole's a bit chunkier, just a bit easier to hit. Hashtag pitch and wedge thins. Right, anyway, let's get to the 7. I do like the look of that. It's just the top line's just a touch too thick, but it is the HMB. Oh my word, that is gorgeous. Oh, I hit another one. That's gone high, it's gone lovely. I did hit that well. That's gone straight as well. It's just gone just to the right hand side of the pin. I'll have to look what the old simulator's doing, but I'll tell you what, that felt nice. Now, it didn't feel as soft, you want to call it a feeling soft, as definitely as the blade. The blade is the king of soft at the moment. It's the daddy of soft. It's gorgeous. This is like similar to the MMC, this is. So I'm not getting that really explosive pop that I thought I would feel from a fairly hollow club. Let's go get another one, because I enjoyed that. Oh, he's done it again. Go on, land on the same one. Oh. could see how these will work really nice in the long irons. Now I've got this in a 4. The rest of them I have doing 5-7 and pitching wedge, because I got this one in the 4. We're going to hit the 4 next for a reason, and it's because a 4 iron I'm not functional with. But I wanted to see, because if I'm obviously a bladed player, I wondered if I was to go into a 4 of a HMB, what the difference in descent angle, etc. would be. Anyway, let's go hit the 4. Hopefully I can hit them anywhere near as I did as well as that 7 iron. That is lovely. Forget about the pitching wedge. That is lovely. Right, let's go swap over. Let's go get that 4 iron. 2 more balls, that's it. And then we'll go hit some proper balls, but let's go swap over the 4. That's a 4 iron. Right, 4 iron time. Generally speaking, this scares me. Because yeah, I have a tendency to leak my longer irons, partly because I push the ball position a little bit further up to encourage launch, but also because I don't release the club enough and I start to just deliver the face a couple of degrees open, and you get that classic little tail off fade. With a 4 iron I have to actively work to try and release the club, so that's what I'm going to try and do. So we can hit these ones fairly straight. There's no point me hitting these even further and further right. If you go into a 3 iron, into a 2 iron, they just go further and further. So I have to actively try and help it through. 4 iron's getting a bit long now, people. Don't get me wrong, I mean, the look of it is, again, it's okay, it's chunkier. Can I see the back? Oh, I think I can just catch the Mizuno marking on the toe bit there, behind the golf ball, just, and I'm pushing the ball a bit further forward in the stance, so if you were to have it slightly further, you'd never see it, but because I'm pushing it further forward, you just see it out the back. But I mean, it's just, no, I had to look at it to see, but I mean, it does look helpful. It's like the fly high, but it looks like a fly high but solid with some HMB action. Right, there's no point in going for more techie stuff. We've done that. Let's just give it a hit. Top line's actually confidently thick now. Go on, let's see if we can give this one a rip. Release that hand, Smithy. Oh yeah. I'm able to actively release that, and that is gone. That is gone. I want to hit this with my premium ball. So obviously range balls, these launch lower spin more, so we don't get peak heights, but for feel purposes alone, this is gorgeous. I mean, it is a more of an explosive pop. You do get that more of a confident pop with it, but you don't lose 100% of that coppery feel. One more. You bet hit it well. Don't fuzz my fingers. Oh no, that is gorgeous. If I could hit 4 irons like that all the time. Oh. Mizuno, they make this in a 2 iron as well, so people, if you want to have like a driving iron off a tee, they make this kit in a 2 iron, and that would rip out there off a tee. I'm just looking at that, and yeah, I'll put the simulator stuff on there. If it looked anything as good as it did in flight, oh my word, that is a lovely club. Right, let's go whack it with my Game Ball Vice Pro, see how premium ball works. I am exceptionally encouraged with just the feel and the looks of it. This could be that classic one that people look for if they can't quite get their 4 iron up in the air enough. They can go to something like this. If your blade, this is blending again, peeps. This is when it comes to Mizuno doing what they're trying to do with the blending options. This is a great idea. Anyway, let's go hit it. Let's see how it works, because that is encouraging. I like it. Okie doke, so after hitting a bunch of shots, loads of shots with the 4, the 7 and the pitching wedge, numbers time. So let's go very small. Should we go very small time? Let's go very small. Here I go, very, very small. So we're going to do the pitching wedge first. Let's go ball data first. So again, all of these, when it comes to the pitching wedges, are all 46 degrees. So there we go, information up on there. People that have already watched the other videos on my channel, the blade and also the MMC, if you really want to, you can jump on those and have a look and then compare all the data sets between all the clubs with the same loft number. But yeah, it'll go on too long if I was to do that myself right now. So ball speed 98.2, launching at 26.4. Tiny little draws or little fades, a little kind of basically straight shots to target, spinning at 9.3. So slightly less, I think it was, than the blade, etc. But again, with that type of construction, this is I'm not overly surprised by the slight drop in spin. However, it's going up well, descending very well, hitting target, hitting the number I'd like it to hit. You can see that I do move around a little bit. Highest one was 128 going down to 120, but again, that's me being human. So yeah, it just does the job very well. It doesn't feel quite as nice as the MMC. No, it doesn't. And it doesn't feel nowhere near as nice as the blade, but it's not as punchy and as explosive that I would expect in a hollow head design to have. So anyway, let's go to club data. Let's get rid of these and then whip across. That's when it starts getting. So 87.8 miles an hour. That is my average club head speed. You can see my efficiency moves around a little bit depending on my strike. Average of 5.2 down, hitting down well when it comes to pitch and wedge. 0.6 in, 0.7 closed, very neutral. And 1.5 toe down. For some reason, I just want to be delivering this one a bit more toe down than I would normally like, but it's 1.5 degrees. It's not I've just raised my handle slightly higher today. 39.4 degrees, so again de-lofting by 6.5 degrees or so, or 5.5, 5.6, 6.6, whatever it is. But 3 mil toe, 4 mil low. Again, so on the normal test, I hit this one right out the skanky bottom bit. When I was hitting normally, as you can see there by the strikes, I'm not hitting 0 every single time. Nowhere near on quite a few. I think I've got 3 mil toe, 1 mil low was my best. Obviously I've done more at the top. You can see it scrolls up. I've hit so many, but I'm trying to give it as best a decent data set as possible. But yeah, on the whole, I'm hitting it fairly well. It was just for some reason I want to gravitate slightly lower. But that's the pitching wedge, so that basically does everything that I would like a pitching wedge to do. Let's go to ball data for the 7. So they've got the 7 iron here now. And one thing straight away, you got ball speeds getting up to 120, launching near out 20 degrees, so it's keeping the launch up. Now these are slightly stronger. They're not obviously the same loft as the blades, etc. But yeah, they're slightly stronger by a couple of degrees. So this is a 7, 32 degrees, and it's spinning at 6.3. So it's still fairly healthy spin considering it is a slightly stronger 7 iron. Little baby fades and descent angle 49.4 degrees. So well within the 45 degree number that I want to be stopping him into a green. I mean, the average going up by 36. You can see the added help from this design is getting the ball up there. You do see a difference already in the flight in a 7 iron. Obviously with the 7 iron you've got those tungsten weights. Makes the ball go up slightly higher when you need the help, and carrying 166. So again, basically somewhere near exactly where I'd want to. The good thing is obviously with a club like this, you're getting a little bit of extra height, keeping the spin there, which is important, and you're getting the control when you deliver that ball into the ground, into the green. So let's go old club data. Let's see. So we're going 92.8 miles an hour. Again, I swing 92, 93 miles an hour with a 7 iron. Efficiency jumps around a little bit depending on my strike. You can see there was one there, went down to 1.25. That was a terrible one because I hit 8 mil hill, 11 mil low. I don't hit middle every single time, people. What saves me is the fact that my face to path is just basically boring, so I'm hitting target a lot. Yeah, hitting down by 4.6 degrees on average, 0.2 out to in, 0.0. It's so boring. My delivery is just so boring. And then 1 degree toe down. Again, slightly higher handle today. Delivering off to 26.4 and 2 mil toe, 5 mil low. 5 mil low again. I do like hitting the low ones today. Don't ask me why. For some reason, I've got a bit of a low thing today. But consider I am hitting it not bang out the middle. That is doing exceptionally well. I would not have any issue. What was that? I mean, if I could get that just a couple more mil higher up, more towards the 0-0, then you'd gain a couple more yards. But again, yeah, it's going to be a couple more yards. It is a very, very, very forgiving club. Now, what we're going to go through to Let's go do the 4-iron. Now, normally a 4-iron is not my club at all. So I'll go do the ball data first. Let's transition across over to that one. So you can see I've hit a load of shots and the average is down the bottom. Now, the reason why I don't normally use a 4-iron is because of descent angle. Descent angle for me, it has to be 45 degrees. If it's not 45 degrees, then it's going into the green without any form of control. It's going to hit the green, depending on what kind of surface you're looking at. Especially if it's a hard green, anything less than 45 degrees, that's bouncing and skipping straight through. And that's not going to be any good for your golf whatsoever. And considering that I'm carrying this golf ball nearly 200 yards, 199 on average, I need that to be coming into the green with some modicum of descent angle to control it. So average ball speed of 133, that's getting up there, launching at 15 degrees. Tiny little fades, as I normally would expect when it comes to a club like the 4-iron. Ball position pushed slightly further forward, so that will change my path relationship, face to path as well. But spinning up at 4.4. Now this is a 4-iron, spinning up for over 4,000 RPM. So even though this thing being 4-iron is like 22 degrees, I think it is, it's still spinning exceptionally well. So, and look at the descent angle, 45.5, just functional by half a degree. Now there's a couple of times there I don't quite hit it well enough and that goes down to the 43s. There's a couple of times I hit really well and goes up into the 47s. You can see that. And you can see my carry distances move around a little bit. I mean, we are talking about a club which is carrying 200 yards. So there's going to be a somewhat measure of inaccuracy the longer the shaft gets, the faster you swing, etc. But it's peaking up well, it's descending well. And bearing in mind, if I was looking at a club that I wanted to hit, I mean, I'm hitting like 5-iron the blade in and around the 180 mark. If I wanted one that going into sort of like the high 190s, it would have, I could not do that with the blade 4-iron. The 5-iron MMC is just functional, so I could not do that with the MMC in the MP20 HMB in the 5-iron. I would have to go, by looks of that, I would definitely have to go HMB. So when you're, the reason I've done this is because just to show you guys that when you're doing your custom fits, you should be blending your sets depending on what your requirements are. Now I understand a lot of places haven't got all the clubs, they've got just 7-irons or whatever it be, but if you can go somewhere where it has got a few different choices just to understand necessarily what your delivery dynamics produce when you're talking about taking some of the loft off, it will make you, or be able to make you, get yourself a lot more functional, useful, cost-effective custom fit. But remember, these things aren't cheap, so you want to make sure you go somewhere you get the job done properly. Yeah, so let's go to the, have we done the old club head data? We probably have done already, but we'll just have a quick look. No, there we go, we transition across, there we go. 97 miles an hour. So as we're going up now into 4-irons, I'm starting to swing, obviously centrifugally, the longer the shaft, the faster the head. So 97.3 miles an hour. I have been known when I'm ripping it to go up to 100 nearly, but this is my normal swing speed, 97.3. Efficiency's getting up, but my strike was interesting. We'll go into that in a minute, but 2.3 toe angle attack, that, as you can see, when it comes to move my ball position further forward, my angle attack decreases. I'm more picking it off the ground. Club path 0.6 across, 0.6 open, so where that little baby fade comes into it. Little tiny 1.1 toe down, delivering 18.5 degrees of loft, so basically de-lofting still by 4 degrees, 3.5 degrees. But 3 mil toe, 3 mil low. Again, you can see that I'm not hitting absolute middle, but I've done a pretty good job. And considering all the shots that you saw there, with me hitting those strike points with this club, it does exceptionally well. It feels really good. I tell you what, in the 4-iron, it feels lovely to hit. It just explodes off the face. So anyway, yeah, hopefully that goes. I will do some more content about the blending and how to do the correct blending when it comes to custom fit, because I think it's a very important message to get out there. So anyway, hope you liked the video. If you did, click the little like button below. Comment below down there if you'd like to talk about anything to do with the HMB, the MMCs, the blending of them, or whatever it be. Down there, little red button, click that subscribe button, that subscribes you to the channel, and also next to it there's a little bell icon, ding-a-ling, that little bell, that'll let you know as soon as I upload some more content. I'll give it a notification, bear it on your phone or your PC or whatever you're doing, and then that'll let you know when I'm uploading the next video. So hope you liked it, and we'll see you again soon.